wisdom,
prudentia,
justice,
justitia,
temperance,
temperantia,
courage.
fortitudo.
Applying ancient philosophy to modern life, this is the Sunday Stoic.
Hey everybody, and thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic podcast. This week we'll be looking at the idea that life is like a stopover at a hotel, at an inn, as Seneca would say. Before we go into that, once again, thanks everybody for writing in last week. I hope I got everyone's audio on the show. I'm sorry if I left anybody out by accident. And I want to thank everyone who's been writing in and sending us audio samples. This week on the introduction, we heard Dr. Gregory Sadler. Check out his YouTube channel. He has a lot of Stoic videos online and other information. Also, thank you to Preston for becoming a patron on patreon.com. You can go on there and donate just like $1 a month to the show and to help me offset the cost of putting the show up. I have to pay every month to host it and to maintain my equipment and everything else. So I really appreciate that. You don't have to donate much. If I can just get a few people to help out, that'd be great. And you can donate and get some rewards. In fact, Preston, if you hear this, email me. I'll send you a MP3 of the show song if you want to make it into a ringtone or something. So you can do that. If you just want to donate on a one-time basis, you can either do that through PayPal, sundaystoic@gmail.com would be the email address, or you can join Patreon for 1 month, donate, and then cancel your Patreon membership. But either way, it'll help out. I appreciate your help for that. So today's show, once again, focuses on one of the core themes of Stoicism, to remind yourself of the reality of your existence. Stop living as if you're going to live forever, and don't get too attached to the things in life that you don't really own, you're just using at this time. Of Consolation to Marcia by Seneca, number 21.
Yes, you say, he perished too soon and untimely. In the first place, suppose that he had lived to extreme old age. Let him continue alive to the extreme limits of human existence. How much is it, after all? Born for a very brief space of time, we regard this life as an inn, which we are soon to quit, that it may be made ready for the coming guest.
The Enchiridion by Epictetus, number 7.
Consider when on a voyage your ship is anchored. If you go on shore to get water, you may along the way amuse yourself with picking up a shellfish or an onion. However, your thoughts and continual attention ought to be bent towards the ship, waiting for the captain to call you on board. You must then immediately leave all these things, otherwise you will be thrown into the ship, bound neck and feet like a sheep. So it is with life. If instead of an onion or a shellfish you are given a wife or a child, that is fine, but if the captain calls, you must run to the ship, leaving them and regarding none of them. But if you are old, never go far from the ship, lest when you are called you should be unable to come in time.
The Meditations of Marcus Aurelius, Book 5, number 33.
Soon, very soon, you will be ashes or a skeleton, and either a name or not even a name. But a name is sound and echo, and the things which are very much valued in life are empty and rotten and trifling.
You have just stepped off your ship, and you walk down the dock to the shore and up the hill that overlooks the sea. You check into the hotel. The man at the desk asks you, "How long will you be staying?" And you say that you don't know, and he replies, "We'll call you when your ship is preparing to leave port." You arrive at your room. It is not as well furnished as you'd like, but you sit down at the rickety table. You pull out your paper and your pen, and you begin to work on your story. You want to craft the best story possible, but you don't know how much time you have, 1 day or 1 year in this hotel room, so you best get to work right now. After working on the story for a few days, the front desk calls.
Your ship is leaving. Meet at the dock in 10 minutes.
The story you were working on is not as far along as you would have liked, but what you have written is the best work you could have done. You put down the pen, gaze once around the room, one last time, and head out the door. Or, you leave your ship and arrive at the hotel. You check into your room, and then quickly return to the front desk. There's a long queue in front of the desk, but damn it, if you're going to spend time working in this room, you're going to have one with all the furnishings. You complain to the front desk when it's finally your turn, and within a few hours, they assemble all the extra furniture they have to give you the lamp you want, the couch you need, the nice desk that you require to write your story. Eventually, you have just the right work environment. Tomorrow, you will begin to work on your story. As the sun rises, you're reluctant to get out of bed. You sleep in a little longer than normal, and then you get up, yawn, drink your cup of coffee, watch a little bit of TV, and then you sit down at your desk and begin to write the first line of your story. Just then, as you write the first line, your phone rings. It's the front desk.
Your ship is leaving port in 10 minutes. Be at the dock.
You cry out, "No, no, no!" and you try to scribble a few more words on the page. There's a knock at the door. Your other shipmates are here to bring you back. You cling to the objects in your room as they drag you, kicking and screaming out the door. They pry the objects from your hands, throw you into a wagon, and haul you back to the ship. Life is like a stopover at an inn. We can't get too attached to the objects in the room with us. Eventually, we'll be gone, and those same objects may well be used by the next guest. We are only here a short while, and over time, even the room will eventually be torn down, the objects within will be turned to dust. Our story will even be forgotten. But it is not in our power to have it any other way. We're trying to work on our character here, which is my analogy in this story. We're working on our story, which is our character. And the things in our life, the objects we covet and crave and spend our time pursuing, eventually are taken from us. They're stolen from us. They leave us. They will still be here when we're gone and go to the Goodwill store, the Salvation Army when we're gone. Everything in life is temporary, especially ourselves, and we need to keep this in mind and not get overly attached to the things in life. And when our captain calls, when it's our final days on earth, we must be thankful for what we've had and leave. Don't be kicking and screaming and begging not to go. You don't have a choice in the matter. Kiss your loved ones goodbye and depart with grace, with dignity. That is our goal, if at all possible, right? We don't control how we go, but that's the ideal. So in the two readings, Seneca reminds us in this consolation letter that life is like a stopover at an inn. Even if we live the longest life that any human has ever lived, we will still die. We still end up in the same place. We still leave the room. Other people are still in the hotel, but we have to go. We have to leave behind everything we brought with us, everything that's in the room. It all stays behind. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that once we're gone, the only thing that remains is our story, our name, and those are only words, echoes that will soon fade away. Soon even those that remember us will be gone. And of course, Epictetus reminds us that we arrive in this life, we enjoy the things in life as much as we can, but one day we have to go, and we have to acknowledge that no matter how much we fight to stay where we are, we're going to leave. So we can try to leave as gracefully as possible rather than being dragged back onto the ship. Something to keep in mind when we're coveting that new object we want or and even worse is when we're coveting objects we want, or fame or fortune, and ignoring the loved ones in our life who we too will have to leave one day. Prioritize the things in your life that are externals. Which ones are the most important to you? Even they will leave, or you will leave them eventually. But live a good life. Work on your story. Work on your character. Even though you will be forgotten, be the best human being you can possibly be before your captain calls and you have to reboard that ship. And you leave this life, you leave your room behind, and all the objects you spent your life accumulating are still there, but you are gone. Thank you for listening to the Sunday Stoic Podcast. You can contact the show at sundaystoic@gmail.com. You can leave a voicemail for the show at 501-503-3132. And keep in touch by following us on Facebook and Twitter. You can support the show by donating on Patreon, www.patreon.com/SundayStoic. You can also help us out by rating us on iTunes or whichever podcast provider you use. Thank you for your support. Carpe Diem.